Hey guys, Dobarkside again, back with another video. In time of this recording, it's about 15 hours away from when tariffs get announced. So it's going to be a volatile day, and I'm going to show you guys what I think when it comes to short-term price action as well as long-term. So if you guys don't already know me, I'm Dobarkside. I make content around Bitcoin market analysis as well as the base chain ecosystem. If you guys want to follow me, I'm on YouTube, X, as well as CoinMarketCap. I make all different content on those social platforms, so definitely follow me on each platform. And let's get right into it. So obviously, when it comes to Bitcoin and my arbitrary squiggle line, we pumped into tariff day, and I'm expecting a lot of volatility, which I'll cover in the later part of the video. But I am expecting quite a bit of a retracement today, and most likely true direction in the future. So I suspect probably a few days after, probably around the unemployment data day, which is the 4th of April, when we get actual true direction. For open interest, it's cooled down. It's still looking good because, as you can see here, we at the current Bitcoin price, we're actually way higher than we were back in the 82K region. So obviously, when it comes to leverage and open interest, it is not going up as fast as the price is, which is good to see. And it just shows that the market is not being over leveraged, and we've actually cooled down quite a lot since retracing since the all-time highs. When it comes to dominance, it's tracking perfectly to what I think when it comes to tariff day. I still suspect Bitcoin dominance tops out around, at least local tops around the tariff day. And assuming that we get some good news on tariff day, and if Trump lays back on the tariffs, we'll probably see some risk on event post that, and most likely dominance will top. Also, another thing to note is that bearish divergence has actually broken out. So obviously, this is something that we wouldn't want to see, because as you can see here, we've had lower highs on RSI, which is typically a strong bearish divergence play out. But we've had a higher high on the RSI, so technically it is bullish for Bitcoin dominance, which is obviously bearish for altcoins. But my assumption has always been the tariff day will be a massive volatile day when it comes to Bitcoin as well as altcoins. And I suspect markets will most likely go risk on post tariff day. But as we can see, time will tell, and I'll keep close attention to this. For liquidations, it's pretty interesting to see that since about like 7 hours ago, we've had a lot of leverage players kick in, and I suspect we're gonna have some drawdown coming into tariffs in about 15 hours or so to just wipe out the late longs, and we'll also have quite a bit of liquidations happening at the 86K region. So if I was to guess for lower time frames, ideally what we'd like to see is a major flush to the downside like we saw the previous day. What typically happens with the late longs getting flushed, we have a major upside price rally. So what we ideally like to see in the next 12 hours or so, a quick flush down to the downside, taking out that liquidity at 84K and 84.5K, and then liquidate the shorts. So we have a nice liquidation wall at about 86.1K or so. And then if I change to the 2 weekly, we have a lot of liquidity above at the 86K region, and most definitely the 89K region. So as you can see, we've got $135 million and $150 million. So I think that's probably going to be our next targets when it comes to Bitcoin rallying this week or even next week. And under the assumption the tariffs are bullish and Trump actually ends up being lenient on the tariffs, we can assume that we'll have a rally above and have some massive liquidations when it comes to shorts. Obviously, I've already showed you guys the market sentiment is in the gutter right now, and majority is still definitely short on the market and offside. So I suspect most pain is to the upside, and with the markets pricing in the current tariffs right now, the markets are pretty much just pricing in the worst case scenario for tariffs. So I suspect if Trump actually lays back on some tariffs for different countries, it will actually have a price rally, especially if once the market realizes tariffs day one actually doesn't affect the economy that much, and they realize, look, the economy might be affected in the long term, but as of right now, it's definitely fine. And with the off chance that Trump actually lays back these tariffs, we can definitely see a market rally, especially with the quantitative tightening being lessened this month. Our liquidations today, we had quite a bit today, so $270 million in liquidations for both longs and shorts, which is quite good. I suspect we're going to hit probably like $500 million plus once the tariffs get hit, because as you can already see here, like we're having a lot of liquidations getting built up, and I just suspect these lines will actually go, like we'll have more yellow lines, which means more liquidations happening. So tweet from Exit Pump: Is it time to squeeze the bears? Time will tell. I suspect it is. We had a lot of pain the past 2 months or so, and it's looking like shorts are getting too lopsided to the one side, and majority, like most of the time, the majority is wrong. And as you can just see from the liquidations, as well as just general market sentiment, the majority is bearish. So the majority isn't correct, like majority of the time. So it's most likely looking like we're probably going to be bottoming here. And yeah, so another thing as well, Seth points out we have $9 billion in short liquidations when Bitcoin hits 90K. So this is massive. So as you can see here, like when it comes to the long side compared to the short side, there is so many more people like putting down shorts right now. And it just backs my statement that the market is very bearish when it comes to market sentiment, and the majority think that we're probably going to go lower when it just looks like we're in a massive bottoming formation right now. We like high time frame, we actually haven't broken down on anything. When it comes to like red flags, it goes back down to my weekly RSI. So I pointed out to you guys before where ideally we don't break below the about the 45 RSI region, and every time we've broken out, so our trigger point currently is let me just get the number now. So ideally what happens is we break out this down sloping trend line on the weekly RSI to the upside. If we break down to below 42, yes, we're most likely heading into a bear market. But when it comes to higher time frames, we haven't actually broken any major trend. And what we'd like to see is post the tariff, we actually break out of this trend line and make our way to new highs. So I will keep looking closely to this chart, and when it comes to longer term time frame kind of stuff, the weekly RSI is definitely something to look out for. And ideally, we do break out of this in the next, to be honest, probably like in April. So if we get that push to 90K plus, most likely this weekly RSI will be breaking out of this trend line. Next up is from Super Bro. So Bitcoin is going to obliterate top callers after closing Q1. This looks like a very bullish chart to me. So this is an inverse head and shoulders. So obviously, as you guys can tell, we have a massive neckline here, which is actually 44 months in the making. We're currently above the February low. We're above the monthly 10 MA moving average. We're currently in an inverse head and shoulders neckline, and we've actually done a 50% retrace from last summer's low. So as you can see, guys, we've actually retested the neck trend line, and the target is probably a doubling from here. So as I've shown you guys in the past, every time we've actually broken out of this weekly downtrend, we've actually had a massive doubling. So we had a doubling here, and as well as a doubling here, and our most previous recent accumulation zone, which was around the 49K region for the last low, we had a 118% rally. So what happens most likely is we hold this next trend line and actually bounce from here, and we have a doubling from the low, the previous low, which was, let me just get the price now, so about 76K, which ends up being around the 153K area. So I suspect our next leg up is probably going to be around the 145K to 160K region, just purely based on that. Another thing to look at is we actually covered in yesterday's video the major gold retracement area. So we actually touched the 2.618 and actually doing a heavy retrace. If gold tops here, I suspect the Bitcoin bottom is officially in. But obviously time will tell, because as I showed you guys from the previous video, let me just get the chart up. Gold is still in a major parabolic run right now, and it hasn't technically broken any structure. So let me just quickly draw this out for you guys. So I believe it was in a four wave ascension. So 1, 2, 3. and then 4. So as you can see here, we still have like gold still has time to keep running, but what we ideally like to see is a massive daily divergence, or at least a weekly divergence. As you can see here, we're technically in a weekly divergence. So as you can see, we got the first higher for the RSI, second lower high. So that is a bearish divergence, as we have weekly candle confirmation. But usually, what tends to happen is the bearish divergence happens 3 or even 4 times. So we might have like the RSI going down here and then making another lower high, and then the price ends up making another higher high. It then breaks down. So like gold could still run for another, like looking at this trend line here, like it could still technically run for another 160 days. So let's see how it goes. When it comes to my base case for gold, I would say it's more likely that gold still has another leg up from here. But ideally, what we'd like to see is gold officially tops, because that will allow a rotation of liquidity coming from gold to Bitcoin. Another thing you see from Seth, so buy when there is blood on the street. Extreme fee is a great buying opportunity. So going back to what I was saying about market sentiment, we're pretty much at the market has been the bearish as ever been this bull cycle. So as you can see here, every time the market has been close to hitting extreme fear, that started bull cycle and now later on. So we've had the most frequency of counts when it comes to the absolute extreme fear zone. So obviously the last accumulation area, we didn't actually hit that hit the super extreme fear level, whereas we actually have hit that the past few months or so. So to be honest, it's looking like we're having a leg up from here, just based on the fact that the majority are offside and are bearish, and if they aren't offside, they're probably shorting the market. So just purely based like looking at the liquidation heat map, most pain is to the upside. That's my analysis for Bitcoin. I'm just gonna play a video that helps and sponsors the channel. If you guys are looking for the fastest trading bot on base chain, EVM chains, as well as Solana support soon, click on the link in the description below. I'll be giving away $1,000 per month to those users that trade and fund their wallets on the Sigma trading bot. It also supports the channel, so it'll be really appreciated if you guys have a look at what the product is, because personally I've been using it because it replaces my DEX needs, and I've actually been using it since March 2024. And the main reasons why I've been using it is, first of all, it's got full mobile and desktop support. So it's on Telegram. It's a bot on Telegram. And because it's on Telegram, it's so much more convenient to make my trades when I'm out and about. As well as multiple features I've been using to make 10 to 100x multiples on new coin deployments. So one of the main features is the auto sniping tool. So what this does is, since Sigma Trading Bot is the fastest bot on base as well as other EVM chains, you're able to snipe new token deployments and be one of the first buyers to new token launches. I've also been using the copy trading tool, which allows me to copy trade profitable wallets and pretty much just copy exactly what they've been doing. But why you guys should be trusting it? Personally, I've been using it since 2024, like March of 2024, and it's got over $3 billion in total volume, with integrations and partnerships with other top protocols like Virtuals, which is the #1 AI protocol on base chain. And like, since it's been around for so long and it's got so much volume, it's got a pretty good track record. It's never been hacked, and I've been using it on and off since the deployment, and I've been quite happy with the product. It's developed and evolved a lot over time. And the partnership, in my opinion, was sort of a no-brainer, because I personally use it for my own trading needs. And with me partnering with them, I'm actually able to give out $250 to 5 winners every month. So it's sort of a no-brainer to use my link in the description and just to give it a go and give it a try, because I've been using it. I've been quite happy with the tool, and they're actually going to be releasing a new web app that sort of supplements the Telegram app. So obviously, depending on your preference, if you like a web app or Telegram app, you can give it a go when that releases. And thank you for supporting the channel. We'll go to the next segment in the video. Okay, cool. And yeah, that's my completion for Bitcoin analysis and my general market analysis. When it comes to base chain, obviously, I'm sure you guys are aware, base chain has been in a considerable downtrend. And obviously, that's, I guess, the answer to that is because Ethereum has been underperforming. When it comes to Ether raiders, just opinion around base chain, people are drastically underestimating how important the success of base is. It is literally the proof of concept that signals to every major platform, company, brand that they can unlock massive new revenue streams. novel new cases, onboarding their new user base to curated bespoke on-chain economy, with relatively low lift, spinning up L2 on a super chain. The implications could be profound, and people are bearish on ETH. So what Etherade is basically explaining is base chain is the Trojan horse to the adoption of the real world economy heading to the on-chain economy. And with base chain launching so many protocols and dApps and hosting real protocols that are actually bringing real Web 2 users, it's showing the proof of concept of the base chain to other platforms and companies that they can also unlock major revenue streams if they build their own chain using the L2 super chain. So this is quite bullish to me because every chain that gets spun up on the Ethereum blockchain is more revenue and more TVL, as well as just general more use cases and users heading into the Ethereum ecosystem. So when it comes to Ethereum, I still believe that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin in the later portion of this bull run. And most likely once we hit, like, if the tariffs ends up being a good day for the market and it isn't actually as bad as people thought, or the market was overpricing the bearishness of it, I still suspect the topping for dominance will play out and Bitcoin will make its leg up higher, and then Ethereum will really start outperforming Bitcoin. And since Ethereum is the king house of base chain ecosystem, and base is the higher beta of Ethereum, that would mean that the base native meme coins and other base native utility coins on the base chain ecosystem would pump. So obviously our tokens like Toshi would pump, Alien Base would pump, and other base native meme coins, just purely on the fact that Ethereum really starts outperforming and the base chain ecosystem starts getting the attention it deserves. But yeah, so that's all to the video, guys. If you guys like the video, like and subscribe. Comment down below if you guys want me to cover any specific topics and niches. And that's the end of the video, guys. Peace.